So welcome to the Pisces full moon, you guys. I'm a Pisces, just to let everybody know. So this is crazy. But this is a super moon, which means there's two full moons in August. We had one on August 1st. It was the full moon in Aquarius. And when we have two full moons in a month, we call it a super moon. It's closer to Earth. I'm not really into the science part, but it's bigger. It's more potent. And then it's a blue moon too. So this is around the time where we can say, like, once in a blue moon, some of these occurrences are happening because it's like rare. So we'll call it the super blue full moon in Pisces. And it happened on August 29th, technically. So I would say in the wee morning hours, maybe around like 2 a.m. So we're talking about the moon. It's still in Pisces. It's going to shift into Aries around 9:30 a.m. just so we know. So we'll have like some shifts here September 1st, but yesterday and today we had this moon in Pisces. So I took these notes last night, and we're going to talk a little bit about what a full moon is, the house that Pisces rules in astrology, the zodiac sign Pisces, and then some illumination that we can look forward to. So we'll say with these moons, it's like 6 months period. And then also between new moon and full moon, that 2-week period is also important. So August 30th to around September 15th when we have a new moon in Virgo. And then a couple days after that, we shift into fall. So there's a lot of things just kind of wrapping up and ending subconsciously. We're in retrograde season too. So I don't want to forget to mention that there's like 7 planets retrograde, which means there's planets in the sky not moving forward, meaning we don't move forward here on Earth either. So past people, places, and things, details that need reflection, delays, because there's already so much going on. Why start more? So we get this like period of time. It's different for all retrogrades. We'll have to look into them later on, so Mercury, Venus retrograde, just to name a few. Saturn retrograde, super important for this full moon, because Saturn's in Pisces. We'll talk about that at the end. So let's get into the full moon. Guys, it's like completions, right? Because we have a celestial object of light that goes through phases that is filled with light around the time that we're discussing a full moon. The second one for August, so a super moon. So we got new beginnings and completions that can happen with any full moon. There's cycles to consider, especially with this one. Chapters, and then climax energy I always mention too. So this is the time in a story where, or if you watch a movie, the full moon is like where things could go up or down from here, right? So like it's extremely intense, a lot of emotion. The moon in astrology is our feelings, our mothers, us as mothers if we are, our emotions, what we hide, our dreams with this one is extremely important. So we'll just go ahead and get into Pisces. So in astrology, we have all these 12 houses. They're represented by item, animal, or thing. And we can look into that more too to kind of know what these energies are. Pisces is the fish. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But let's talk about the 12th house. All right. This is the final house too. So when we talk about full moons, it brings endings and completions. And we're having this full moon in the last sign of us. So we go from Pisces to Aries. There's 12. Some people argue that there's a 13th one. So this is obviously just like tropical astrology that I've been obsessed with for several years. So when we talk about that, we have 12 signs, 1 through 12. So when we get to Pisces, the next full moon at the end of September is going to be Aries, and super important for the individual and new beginnings. Before we get to that energy though, the 12th house is known as like almost like a church, metaphorically, where you come as you are. It's the final house. So come as you are. There's things that we need to sacrifice and surrender. So we have this like emphasis put on not only endings, because full moon is ending. Pisces is 12th house ending, final house. And then we have cycles that are important too because of that. And then with the Saturn energy being here with this full moon, every astrologer is kind of talking about how this is extremely like ending karmic cycles with the Pisces. A little bit more about the 12th house though, and like what we can, because the moon is going to be in different zodiac signs, so it has like different elements and stuff to consider. So this is the subconscious, which is super weird because the moon rules the subconscious, what happens behind the scenes, but so does Pisces. So this is like, honestly, this full moon, in my own words, it's been like a weird fantasy dream Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole. Like things don't really make sense right now. And the more it doesn't make sense, the more confused you are, the more like in and out of reality you feel. You're right on time. You're right here with us all with this Pisces full moon. You're not weird, or maybe you are, but like you're not like, it's not unusual to feel that right now. Like really dreamy, like really get into that. And honestly, I haven't had much time to really like post on Facebook, but my real short advice for this full moon is to like go with the flow, because we're essentially flowing in two different directions with the Pisces fish. There's two fish chasing each other's tail. One's jumping in the ocean, one's jumping out. One's going to sleep, one's waking up. So we're kind of, there's two different parts of us right now that are extremely at play here. Something's ending, something's beginning. But what I was going to say is none of this matters, because the Pisces full moon is going to harness unseen energy. So it doesn't matter really what we're doing here today. Like when Michael does the bowls, it's what happens under the subconscious. We're really underneath the subconscious here. So our dreams, our intuition, everything that's hidden. And then I did some research last night, because I always do what I just know over the years. And then I look up, like, just for like giggles, like, okay, is there anything I'm missing? And I did find that the 12th house is also associated with aloneness and deep introspection. So there's some of that going on. Some of us, I figured it was more so a Virgo season thing that has maybe it's because it's about to be the fall, but there's definitely this lonely, vibe that's been coming up in some of my personal readings and readings for the zodiac. So all of us are feeling a little alone in different ways, even if it's subconscious and no one knows that. So that's that Pisces deep energy. And I'm just going to say again, while we're sleeping, so sleep last night, sleep the night before that, sleep for the next couple of weeks, honestly, like pay attention to who you're dreaming about or what's going on in your dreams, because I love dream analyzation, and that's going to let you know more about what's going on in reality. Pay attention to how a dream makes you feel, because this Pisces full moon, at the very least, is just going to give you some sort of message in your dream or something that happens subconsciously over the next 2 weeks. And then Virgo on September 15th may be a bit more practical and really show you, like, with your lifestyle, what's going on, or with money. But Pisces is all about the fantasy and dream. And then it's extremely spiritual too, you guys, the Pisces full moon. There's a lot of imaginative energies, because Pisces is ruled by a combination of Jupiter and Neptune, but we'll say Neptune today, because it's that dreamy, like Hollywood is ruled by Neptune, and the movie, like makeup, anything that brings an illusion. So there's those two, guys. That's why I'm saying to just kind of go with the flow, because right now, I mean, for lack of a better word, deception comes up with Pisces. A little bias. I don't really like that, but I have to admit, when you're dealing with mystery and confusion and like master magician energy, you know what I'm saying? A magician never gives away his secrets, right? So there's a little bit of confusion right now that is literally a part of this recipe. And with that comes a little bit of curiosity too. It kind of actually starts as curiosity, and then all of a sudden, you're in this like dream state, and you're not really sure if people, places, and things are as real as they're maybe seeming. So I don't trust anything right now. I'm kind of just wandering like an acid trip, just letting things kind of happen. And that's really the vibes of it, literally. And then we'll talk a little bit about the element too, because we've got fire, earth, air, and water. And Pisces is obviously a water sign, right? It's mutable water though. So it's a little bit different than Cancer or Scorpio would be. It's the only water sign that is represented by something in astrology without a shell. Scorpio has a shell. Cancer has a shell. Crab and Scorpion, they've got that exo. Pisces is a very gullible, for lack of a better word, or naive. We get those things too, because we want to embrace it all. So right now, for those of us who are, we'll say brave or whatever, vulnerable enough to just kind of be that fish, right? Because you could even be, there's piranhas and sharks that are fish too. So we're not talking about just little guppy clownfish here, but it's that energy of just going with the flow. So that's making us susceptible to heartbreak, pain, betrayal. So when you're that open to all things that are in the universe in this 12th house, when you're open to the subconscious, that really, there's really no harsh lines there. Anything could be subconscious. So long story short, it's very important to be emotionally adaptable right now. So emotional adaptability is what I have here in the notes, which basically translates to feelings that change. And that brings me back to the Cancer Scorpio thing. They're protected, they're stable, they're taking action. Pisces is in between Cancer and Scorpio, where, well, it's the third one, actually. It's the last one. So there's already been action taken emotionally, whether we know it or not. There's already been stability and maturity that's been reached. So now we're at the point where the only thing left to do is completely change how we feel. So if it starts and ends there, that's definitely a Pisces vibe too. So if your feelings have changed over, August was not even over yet, but we'll just say that it is. August was rough with these retrogrades. A lot of us are going into September, going into the fall with very changed emotion. Don't beat yourself up for that. That's literally the theme. It would be weird if you didn't change your feelings right now. It's kind of impossible not to, because there's so much that was hidden that is seen before now. And maybe not yet. Give it a couple weeks. But the theme of this full moon is like, okay, we've reached the end. So in a month, when we have an Aries full moon and we step into who we are we really going to be in the same place? Do you really want the same people around you? Or are you going to listen to your intuition about how you feel? And really I don't have it here, but I'll just say, as a Pisces, it's extremely important if we're not fulfilled emotionally, because that's one of the things Pisces seeks is like, well, really emotionally fulfilling others first, but we want that. So I think subconsciously we're all looking for that, at least some sort of fulfillment, but we're going to have to adapt, you guys. And I'm going to talk about duality for a minute, which I've been talking about a lot today, just getting into the theme, I guess, with these two fish swimming in opposite directions. We're being pulled. So there's that yin and yang, that light and dark, masculine, feminine. I would say Pisces is more feminine, more dark energy, because it's, the subconscious, it's water. But we're going to mix light and dark. Like I said, that fish jumping in and out at the same time. So you may find things like that in your life coming into play with this narrative over the next couple of weeks, if you're not already there. Like, am I coming or going? Am I staying or running? Yes or no? So it's very both. It's kind of a tricky thing to master. I'm a Pisces, and I haven't really mastered it, but I have grown accustomed to just not really knowing. In fact, I kind of just try to narrow down what I don't want in hopes that what remains is what I want, because I never really know that, like, right off the gate. So I single things down a little bit, because there's a reason to explore all these feelings. It's not real cut and dry, and there's this like need to be super understanding with other people. And we'll get into that now too, because a lot of that is illustrated at the bottom here, which is when we talk about the illumination. We have a full moon, which is illumination. I always say it's like being in a dark room and a light turns on. Now you can see the crevices and the boxes and the dust. So those are going to manifest as people, places, and things, unfinished business, the past, but you can see it now. It's hard to sleep now, right? Pisces rules sleep, so some of us probably haven't been sleeping very good because our subconscious is being illuminated. That's what I have here. With Pisces illumination, at best, this full moon is going to illuminate our subconscious. So things that were hanging in the background, behind the curtain of the play going on, now all of a sudden you're able to see, and put those pieces together. We can't forget the opposite of this energy is Virgo. So Virgo is very logical, very analytical. We have Mercury retrograde right now, which is hindering that energy a little bit. It's really giving the subconscious confusion energy, like, more ammunition. Right now things don't really make sense. Like, if this was like a battle between Virgo and Pisces, like Pisces energy is definitely like overruling that, because things don't make sense. We don't really have details, but that's because things that are hidden are being illuminated. So what's hidden is being exposed. We'll say it like that. Also, we have clarity from endings. This Pisces full moon is endings. Pisces is endings, the last house. And then that full moon, another word for illumination would be clarity. So if things end, people, places, things, where we live, where we work, if they're just changing because our feelings, we're getting clarity from it, especially by September, the end of September, I would say, when we have a full moon in Aries. Heightened intuition. This one's been fun because it's been insane. Gut feelings, synchronicities. Pisces is associated with that. So especially in music, I don't want to forget to mention that, but like movies, like if you guys know what that means. Like it's happened to me over the past few weeks where I'm thinking of a song and it comes on or something, or I hear a song with a certain person and then 5 hours later I'm hanging out with someone completely different and that song comes on. Pisces is into music and symbolism, right? So pay attention to, also we don't want to leave numbers out, like if you're seeing repeated numbers, animal totems or omens. But really, I want to really hone in on the gut feeling, where there ain't nothing in your physical environment that assures you of this. You have no scientific proof, but you know whether you had a dream about it, but not even, because that's physical proof too, or at least something that initiates it. So I'm talking like you just know it in your gut. Like if you have the ability to harness that right now intuitively, that's very heightened. And I trust it now more than ever. Always trust it, but definitely under a Pisces full moon. Messages in your dreams we've talked about a little bit, because this is sleepy, dreamy vibes. Pisces, that's why it feels this way. It's like really like a ship that sails itself, honestly, in that deep subconscious realm. So definitely just certain messages in your dream that some of them may be real in your face, like, wow, okay, I know what that means. Others of them, you may have to get curious and kind of look up certain things, like, okay, I dreamt about a tornado. So what does that mean? Okay, because it'll blow your mind just looking up. And then also just paying attention to how a dream makes you feel. Dreams don't need to make sense in the logical realm. They're not happening in a logical realm, but our subconscious it'll give us stimuli in dreams to kind of like simulate a feeling. Even if sometimes I have dreams about certain home environments from my childhood, but like my current partner's there, so that can't be true. But there's something about those two energies that are important. So just keep that in mind. Get real creative with it. It does not have to make sense right away. It's going to make sense internally. And this one didn't come from me. I was taking notes, and sometimes things just like get channeled. So an ending to confusion or illusion. This definitely didn't come from me, because I'm saying like, oh, it's confusing, give into that. But this Pisces full moon is saying that there's going to be an ending to some kind of confusion, where before, all year long, you were not sure about what to do about this relationship or job or home environment, family thing. This Pisces full moon, at the very least, I promise you on behalf of Pisces, that it's going to make you less confused about something, where you're going to have clarity where you didn't before. It may cost an ending though, but I'll just say I'm very happy to deliver that message that there'll be less illusion as well, because there's been a lot of that going on, even in our government. Not going to go there, but just like in regular world stuff, lots of deception and illusion. So we won't be as confused moving forward, you guys. That's more valuable than what some of us may know, because our confusion, they say the devil is confusion. I'm hearing that too. But what that translates to is like, it's a very egoic, low vibration to be confused. That's not high vibrational to be confused. We want to embrace it when we have those human emotions, but don't give into it. You know, some of us have been confused for ages, and it's kept us from making certain moves, accomplishing certain things. So in a nutshell, we'll be less confused and under less illusion. I promise that that's gonna make or break some of us. Like, a lot of good is gonna come out of that. And then no more being the victim. This hurt a little bit to write, because Pisces is really associated with that martyr energy. It's the last house, so you know, we're the type of zodiac sign that's going to let others win, or just be understanding and sacrifice ourselves. And we all know, in the grand scheme of things, especially on a spiritual journey, our higher selves aren't down with that. Like, we have to receive as well. It can't just be all give, heal. Like, that's toxic. Let's call it toxicity. So all of us here tonight, all of us listening later on in life, like, there's certain areas in our life where there's victimhood to consider. Like, you know, we don't want to stay in those positions. And so if we follow a theme with this Pisces full moon, there'll be areas in our life where we're no longer the victim. Does that make us the victor? I don't know. Does it make us the hero? The most important thing is that we're no longer just like, you know, dying in the name of other people and places and things. And what I know intuitively is that we're dying and making ourselves victim to people, places, and things that don't even really deserve it. Like, they wouldn't do the same. So now I'm hearing, like, why would I cross an ocean for you if you won't even step over a puddle for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, so we haven't got that same treatment. And that's what the higher self in the universe is trying to kind of end here. So no more victimhood for certain things. We're no longer martyrs. You don't need to die for these people or this place or thing. It's not your responsibility. You actually have way more potential up ahead. So we're going to have to surrender. I've mentioned that word a couple of times with the Pisces. I mean, you're in the final house of the zodiac. So there's not much to do else but to surrender, so that we can get to this Aries full moon in a month and know who we are. And it's going to start back at the individual. Like that springtime energy, that it's not spring, but that's Aries energy, that new birth and rebirth energy. Sacrifice too. Can't just get something for nothing. The subconscious knows that. Like, there's still energy to consider. We got to make room for new things. So we have to let go. We're definitely going to have to let go of a lot of, everything's different for everyone else, but we have everyone here listening, everyone present and listening later. Like, there's something in our life that is in the way of something better. And it's not here for the fall. Like, the fall time may be an expiration for it. This relationship, person, place, or thing, this way of thinking, it could be habits because of Virgo. It could be work for some of us. We're going to have to make sacrifices, though. And then I literally wrote, go with the flow, dead fish. And because it's go with the flow. But I also, a few years ago, I seen something on Facebook that said only dead fish go with the flow. And it really, like, just got me thinking, you know, because I've always heard my whole life as a Pisces, go with the flow. And it's really spoke to me as like a mermaid and as a fish. So go with the flow, but just know that only dead fish go with the flow. So are we creating our own flow? Or are we going to have to, like, for lack of a better word, die a little bit? We ain't Scorpio. This ain't Scorpio season, but that's coming. So we're starting this transformation now. So something made me write that. Go with the flow, dead fish. Like, I feel some of us, this is a little cringy, but we may feel kind of dead inside, you know. We may feel kind of, I know from my personal readings that that's very true. I know it personally that some of us just feel like part of us just, you know, kind of numb and just over it, really overwhelmed. So I literally see, let's not go dead fish with it, but like just something in the ocean that doesn't have its own weight. So it's literally flowing and being thrown all over, but it's like, it's kind of beautiful what Spirit's showing me with this. Like something was thrown and released into something, and you're being carried somewhere. I keep getting that message lately, is that we're being carried. We're going to go with the flow, and the process may not literally kill us, but it's going to transform us. It's going to, you know, be this metamorphosis into a different version. And it's so weird that Pisces is the last sign, because I feel many things start subconsciously. Even the universe itself had a subconscious. So we have to do this subconsciously, and then Aries will take over next month. The last thing I have for this notes, and then we'll get into the moonology, which is just a card for this full moon. I just have a little Saturn retrograde here, all right? I didn't want to mention, it's my duty to mention that tonight, that this ain't no normal Pisces full moon. We're not just dreaming and fantasy. I wish we were. I mean, that's present too, but we also have this ominous, militant energy present, standing behind this moon. Karma is still here. I still seen what you did. Karma may be asleep, but it's not dead. So karmic events happening around the time of this full moon, already occurring in the next couple weeks, occurring over the next 6 months, to be honest. So I have March 10th here, 2024. That's a time to revisit, when all of this will have time to manifest, because by then it'll be Pisces season, and we'll have a new moon in Pisces, the opposite of this full moon. So we want to research a little bit, or just look in, for those who are interested in Saturn retrograde. All right. This is just our responsibility. There's certain restriction with this full moon. And as I was taking notes last night, I was actually kind of like, it put 2 and 2 together. Like, I'm kind of thankful for Saturn. I'm thankful for this energy being present in Pisces as well. Because if it wasn't, this would be almost like a trip to the like psychiatric ward. Like, some of us would really like dive too deeply into this subconscious, and we might slip away, float away, like this confusion energy. So let's just be thankful that there's this grounded Capricorn, Aquarius, militant energy present as well. Like, okay, you can dream and escape and play victim, but what about your career? What about your job? What about your goals? What about your achievements? Like, let's not just dream about this and fantasize. Let's do things every day to make it a reality. Let's set up a goal so we're not sleeping all the time. Like, there's this like really serious, ominous undertone to this full moon. It's retrograde, so it's the past. So we'll wrap it up and say that it's karmic events. Time is super important. Time delays as well, because it's like divine timing, so it doesn't happen sooner or later. There's certain restriction and responsibility here. We may even feel restricted subconsciously. But this energy is here to kind of keep us on track so that we don't get caught up. You might be sleeping now, but in the future, there's certain things that you want to achieve and goals. So that makes so much sense to me as an astrologer, so that we don't get completely lost and hypnotized right now with this energy. We have this slight energy to see the future. And that is so much more valuable than what we might know, along with other things here, with things getting less confusing and stuff. Like, there's this promise in the long-term future, like a goal that we're going to meet, so that we're not stuck in this dreamy Sandman energy. Start with the moonology. I'm only going to read from the full moon in Pisces, but I did want to bring a few cards just because. So we have the full moon in Pisces, and it says balance, spirituality, and practicality. That's Virgo Pisces. Pisces being the spiritual and the water. Virgo. So a full moon is when the sun and the moon are opposite. So we do have that sun and Virgo helping, but this is a blue moon. So I brought the blue moon card too. And it says believe in the impossible. And then I have a super moon card because it's a super moon. So emotions are running high. I think all of these were important to bring. And then I brought mutable moon. I never have before, but Pisces is mutable. And I just like that it says nothing is yet set in stone. So that's an important thing to hear right now, because Emotions are running high. We're believing in the impossible. We got practicality and spirituality, but nothing is set in stone. I needed to hear that last night when I seen this. Saturn energy is really trying to set things in stone. Just know nothing's set in stone yet. It's kind of that vibe of like, not all that meets the eye is true. Like there's more going on. And then we have just the regular full moon card, which is surrender to the divine. I brought that one because of the surrender. Believe in the impossible. Emotions are running high. Nothing is yet set in stone. Really remember that one. And then surrender to the divine. But we're going to read from full moon in Pisces, that spirituality and practicality balance. So have you been so head in the clouds that you've lost touch with reality? If so, take this card as a sign that you need to pay attention and make concerted effort to move forward to your goals. The more practical step you can take, the better. It's time to find an inner balance between your responsibilities and your dreams. Meditate on your question, and the solutions to your issue may come to you very clearly. If you're in a tricky situation because you've been acting like a martyr, this card will be a message from the cosmos to drop that act for everyone's sake. So meditate every day and see what comes to you. Answers will come. You're in a super romantic but not super realistic state. Follow your intuition. It won't let you down. At worst, this card can herald the end of a dream. The person you're inquiring about is a soulmate. Avoid substance abuse. Yeah. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so the full moon in Pisces is symbolically a mark for endings. When the moon is full in Pisces, or whenever you pull this card, it's a time to dive deep into your emotions. Practicality is at odds with the numinous Piscean energies that have no borders, so feel your way around now. Psychic ability is heightened when the full moon is in Pisces, and soulmates now connect. It's also a time to send out your dreams into the universe by releasing your fears. So let's start with the tarot portion of the Pisces full moon. So right away, the first thing I want to mention is that this is not my usual tarot deck that I use. This is the first deck that I ever had personally. And then there's one that was given to me that I've been using. So we're dealing with really old energies tonight, is what that metaphorically means. Specifically 2016 and 17. So if there's any, not sure where we were, I don't know astrologically what would be bringing that back up besides retrograde. So just a little intuitive message there that I feel as your tarot reader that I was led to use a very ancient, I love this deck, and it usually sleeps and just stays. I don't use it very often, but we're going to use it tonight for the Pisces full moon. So what I like to do at some point ahead of time before a reading is, if it's personal or for a zodiac sign, there's 78 cards in tarot. I started reading tarot around 2017. So over the past 5 or 6 years or so, I've developed a personal relationship with the cards. It's really just a story that gets told to me. I'm kind of taken on a journey. I'll get certain feelings or metaphors that come up. But what I like to do is shuffle. Within these 78 cards, there are cards that are associated with zodiac signs, associated with planets. So something I've come up with along the years to connect, just for me personally, that I know an energy is connected, is I'll shuffle. I'll usually sage the cards and just sit with the energy. So last night I grabbed these cards and I was just mentioning the Pisces full moon here in August at the end, 2023. And I waited until the moon card showed up. It's kind of ironic, but the moon card rules Pisces. So when we're dealing with Pisces energy, we look for that moon card. Some people associate Cancer with this energy as well because Cancer is ruled by the moon in astrology. But this is the ruling card for Pisces, and it's weird because we're talking about the moon. The moon card itself can talk about fears, delusion, deception, secrets, our soul, following our gut instinct. But what I'm excited to do is to take 5 or 6 cards underneath. I almost seen earlier. So there's a metaphor there of kind of already knowing, or, things peeking out from under the surface, trying to reveal themselves, but not too soon. So things are going to be revealed in a timely manner. We're meant to know certain information at a certain time, Mercury retrograde. So I don't know what these cards are. We're going to reveal and talk about them together. And it's the energetic lineup behind this moon. So there's already some kind of a story based on my shuffling and the intent. I even mentioned, that other people will be listening and that this will be a collective reading. So someone is going to receive something. Everyone's going to receive something from this reading. So let's see what energy is behind the moon. And then I'm going to take some time to grab an individual card or cards for each bowl. But this is just some kind of story. And I knew it earlier. This is what's right behind the moon card. This is essentially the most important card because it's right behind the moon. So what we're going to do is just take a step back. Every card we pull is like a part of the energetic lineup. But when I was over there getting all my stuff out of the bag, I bumped the cards and I thought, I didn't know for sure. This is all a metaphor. As soon as I start reading, everything I say or do or feel can be a metaphor for someone else. So I literally knew it, but I didn't trust my intuition about an ending. So we got the moon. We have Scorpio moon showing up here whenever the moon is in Scorpio. For those who are interested in astrology, we will have a new moon in Scorpio in a couple months, around like November or something. So that could be a time frame. I don't always get time frames, but what I really feel here, especially what happened over there, I didn't really see it all the way, but I'm like, I think that might be the death card, but I didn't want to reveal it. I wanted to read it with you guys. So intuitive endings, knowing that something needs to end, getting inklings. That's a good word for the Pisces instead of the intuition, which isn't really trustable right now with all the missing details and stuff. Just inklings, like subtle clues and hints about something that's to come. That is Pisces in a nutshell. So Scorpio, a significant zodiac sign, sun, moon, or rising. But let's talk about the tarot. This is an ending, all right? This is one of the most feared cards, right up there with the devil card. But really, it just comes out during times of transition when we're going from one place to another, one way of being to another. That's really happening. I see that message here coming back up of like our feelings changing and actual endings. But this card heralds a beginning as well. That's what people fail to realize sometimes, that death is really a beginning. Actual death is an ending for us, but, for the person transitioning, it's quite the start, So we do have, I'll just be very straight up. This Pisces full moon is going to kill. We talked about that a little earlier, like go with the flow, dead fish. That's, I guess, right on the nose because there is endings, especially throughout the fall. From now until November when we go to Scorpio season, October, November time period. So we'll say October 22nd through November 22nd, extreme important time period. Just keep that in mind. And we're going to continue, but as in a nutshell, I would say this full moon is definitely going to end things, kill things. And these, of course, are things that no longer have a place or purpose. They no longer serve, they're not in alignment with us or whatever it might be. So there's this, like, some of us are afraid to end things, afraid to start things. Some of us intuitively knew this was going to end or start. Some of this is happening behind the scenes. Some of us have had dreams about death, and this could be for someone listening later. Or maybe it's in the future. But I will say with this combination, there are dreams of, so maybe not dreams of death, but dreams of those who have died, right? So we've got that going on too, where we might be very much visited by those who are no longer on earth with us. So that's going to be interesting. Let's move on from it because there's a lot of enticing energy there that I can stay on for a while. But we'll move to the Two of Wands. So we're getting deeper into the energy. So now the cards are showing me as your tarot reader that this full moon, and remember, we're talking about from now until around September 15th when we have a new moon. So from full moon to new moon, 2-week period. And then we talk about a month cycle from full moon to full moon. So we've got from now until the end of September. But then if we really want to be technical, 6 months from new moon to full moon in the same sign. So we'll throw that date out there of March 10th, 2024. So there's manifesting energies. We all have different subconscious things at play here. But what I'm seeing now is that I don't know if things end and then we're at this crossroads, or if because things are ending or changing or beginning. But I really see a tremendous amount of crossroad. I'll show you the 2 cards I'm looking at here. We have 2 here. So we have 4 cards that represent choice. The 2 of Cups, the 2 of Swords, the 2 of Wands, and the 2 of Pentacles. We're pulling air and fire, which lets me know these decisions have to do with our mind. They have to do with what we think, what we decide. We have crossroads here. And let's put this one back where it goes. So I'm going to read it as this. Things are a little hidden. Things start to transition and transform, especially Halloween energy around then, around Scorpio season. There's just some kind of change or ending. Now, because of that, there's something here coming into play about where we've been and where we're going with this Two of Wands, okay? So this is something that I really recently came into that this is something that's manifesting, something that is manifested. So we're kind of choosing a different path here. But the way I'm seeing it, I'm going to hold up and let you guys see it too. Not for those who are listening because you can't see it, but I would read this as an ending up ahead. So I will say, I don't always get time frames, but the next couple of weeks, sometimes 2 months, but it definitely represents up ahead, like what's coming up ahead. So there may be some kind of like ending or change or transition just because of what happened in the environment. This may involve people leaving. This may involve like just having to go or time or something. That's just intuitive there. But I do see things being very different in the next couple weeks, especially because of this little guy here, the Two of Swords. So what I was talking about is the fire in the air. It might involve the truth, what we think, or what needs to be expressed. We have a new moon here illustrated specifically when the moon is crescent. So that's when the moon is smiling. Whenever we look up and see that, that might be... It'll happen with the Pisces full moon just before the new moon, and it'll happen just after the new moon. So we'll say around like September 14th, 15th, somewhere around there, give or take a few days. That's when we have this crossroads, you guys. And I'm kind of in between as your tarot reader, as if this ending causes this. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it's different for everyone listening and present. But I do see an ending or change being associated here. And it's not just some like willy-nilly, like let's just make a small detailed change where no one really even notices. This is one of those big changes that are going to affect your path moving forward. It's going to affect who you are and who you're becoming, where you've been, where you're going. Someone here has to make their mind up about whether they're going to end something or not. That we've all been feeling that forever, right? But the difference is that we're under a Pisces full moon now that, you know, kind of associates with endings and things like that. So... choices, let's move on from it, but we'll just say we have two different choices here. We have choices in between two actions we could take, comfort versus growth. Like we could do something and end something here and move forward towards a really unknown energy, follow our intuition, or we could do something that we've always done. So it's really between that comfort and growth, but there's two things that are true. So let's not make this easier than what, or make it sound easier than what it really is, because this is that which is true being crossed by which is also true. So we're in two minds about something, right? So maybe all the details haven't been revealed. We have the King of Swords showing up. So we know there's endings and decisions and choices, crossroads. Now we have a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Man, this is an individual. It's a way of being. So for us feminines, us, you know, fire, earth, and water signs, if we're not an air sign or a man, this still applies to us because it's a detached. So this comes up when... in readings when we're going to need to make a head decision, not a heart. In fact, this is a very emotional time period. I don't see any water yet. I don't see any feelings depicted. So this is very maybe Mercury retrograde Virgo energy, but this is intelligence. You know, the King of Swords is so detached and borderline narcissistic that when he makes decisions, it's going to be what makes sense. It's going to be based on the facts that he has proof and that he can obtain, not what ifs, or it's going to be true in 2 weeks. No, if it's true right now, that's the evidence I have to make this decision. So I'll say just in like a kind of like umbrella term, it's important to make these decisions from the mind, from what makes sense, not with how you or someone else feels, although that is illustrated in the Two of Swords behind the woman. So she's making a gut instinct. There's a lot of flow behind her in the water, emotional upheaval and ups and downs. But a lot of us are trying this detached approach right now, or we have this individual. It could be an ex. This is like an ex-husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, or wife, someone from the past wanting to communicate. Someone exterior to us is important to this decision. So this might even open up the realm of other people's decisions and how sometimes in a weird way that can hold us up. Like, you ain't decided. I got my own decisions, but you haven't decided and I'm associated with that choice. There also needs to be a conversation with someone. There needs to be some kind of truth or information that comes in. This may happen middle of September when Mercury starts moving. Someone here is about to get an apology from someone as well. With this Page of Pentacles, it's a small offer. But I am getting like apologetic vibes or some kind of offer. Or some of us have financial new beginnings in store. This is seeds being planted. Maybe this is Virgo new moon, because that'd be a good time to plant seeds like this dude's doing. But the thing is, behind them we've got this blank field, and then on the other side all these apple trees. So it's the metaphor of like every tree was a seed. You have to water things. So we have that earth consistency coming up here, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I see, I get different feelings at different times with the same card. Nothing changes about the card, but the environment and the time has changed. So with this specific moment with the Page of Pentacles, I am getting that this is more of a financial op. This is more of a financial opportunity for us. We're going to need to get together and talk to someone about the tangible environment. It's small. This is not the Knight of Pentacles or the King or Queen. It's a page. Some of us, this is about children or those who are younger or a new job. Basically, the Page of Pentacles comes up when we find something new. It could be money, like, whoa, look at this new value. Look at this new skill I have to learn if I plant this and work on this for the next 6 months. So what we can take from this full moon, if we instill that by February, by March, we've got something that has grown now, right? The consistency, the stability, but we are going to have to nurture it. It's very small. And then I always say as a reader, be careful of like really small offers from detached people that don't align with our true worth and value. This could be, metaphors for people offering you something you already have, or, I've got a bunch of that. So why would I, want something smaller than that? So just be careful of that. I don't see that too much, but it's, it's something new coming in the tangible realm. Thanks, Virgo. This is definitely something Virgo would do, would offer you something new and tangible that can be bought or sold or learned or mastered. So we do have the tangible money realm coming up when it comes to our truth, when it comes to our decisions. It's definitely, money is intangible, physical environment. Resources are playing a role in the decisions we're making right now because it's earth. Like we can't just talk or make decisions based on how we feel right now, because what about my bills? What about my job? What about this? My routine, my schedule. So there is something new coming in to kind of trump that a little bit. So I do see 2 individuals. We all have at least 2 individuals around us. They may or may not be an earth sign or an air sign. I would say Taurus and Aquarius, but we have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We all have that energy somewhere. So we'll take it even here. We've got stuff going on in the tangible realm and stuff going on mentally. We have things going on with money and finances and what's being said, what isn't being said, decisions that are being made, decisions that aren't being made, that are going to be made. And we'll end here because we have the World card. So we have a message about Saturn and Pisces. We're going to stop here karmically and get shuffling to talk about the next portion. But this is reiterating that end to confusion I was telling you guys about. That's nice to see. Saturn is a huge part of this moon. So, there are certain karmic options of abundance that are coming in. So when you were at that crossroads before, you had the details that you had what was available then. So what if I told you that there were new people, new places, and new things coming in this new chapter? So would you make the same decision, right? It's going to be different for all of us, but there's definitely some kind of new, I'm hearing you're owed this. Not sure what that's all about, but it's Saturn, it's karma, it's career oriented, it's your responsibility. It's that earth element that's hanging out behind this full moon. I see no feelings or emotion yet. I know we all have those going on, but we're definitely focused on endings and choices elsewhere, detaching and being logical and grounded and working. That the subconscious is just that. It's very subconscious. As far as our feelings, we may not be connecting as much with that. But I do see success. There could be a new career. Someone could be traveling here. Some of our options are, it's like they had a chapter to be an option, because some of our decisions weren't being made because of potential options that we were considering, that Pisces martyr victim stuff. So the universe and Saturn and this full moon is also going to bring an ending to confusion, an ending to certain options that were poison and not water, because there's a difference. They looked the same, but they didn't go down the hatchet the same way. They had different effects on you. So the universe is coming in to karmically wrap around and wrap up a chapter of confusion, of overwhelmed emotion. Like maybe I kind of said that earlier when I was talking about Pisces, that you can narrow down what you don't want, and hopefully what remains is something that you do. There's different ways to make choices and decisions. So I do see that. I also see a year ago was important, like what goes around comes around. So August of 2022, super important. September 2022, where you were a year ago, something that's small that started then, that was an option. You may decide that something doesn't pay well enough or isn't promising or committed enough. It offers you too little, right? You're not an apple tree, you're a seed. So there's patience that comes out with this, but also I got to make a decision right now. If something isn't grown to full potential, then, I mean, you know, so it might persuade our decisions based on the growth or practicality of a person, place, or thing, the readiness of it, because we have divine timing here. But King of Swords, I see these as individuals, man and child, little earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or a new endeavor with earth and money. This is going to be important for some reason. Not what I expected. I expected the death card, but beyond that, I basically we kind of know that things are ending and changing, but what about afterwards, right? It's not the ending or the initial change that we're worried about, because we're enduring that. But it's like, what about what's up ahead? That's why we're at this crossroads, perhaps about a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or just mentally, money. And then we pull it back to this Two of Wands, which only comes out in readings when we're literally in between a portal of like where we've been and where we're going. And it's a choice between what I've recently said was something that manifested already, and it's been working for us for a little bit. We're bored though. And it's something that's manifesting. And that's why the guy has his hand on one of the wands and he's holding the world. And that other wand representing a person, place, or thing, it's that comfort. It's what we've already experienced. We're ready for a new big picture expansion journey. But it might involve travel or getting bigger, for lack of a better word. Like we're up high looking out from a balcony at this whole orchard land of mountain. And it's like when you're up high like that, it's liberating, but also like it's like shows you how small you really are and how big things can really get beyond the horizon. So that's what's kind of ending here. That's what's changing. Scorpio is definitely hanging out though. So like if you have any Scorpios in your life, because they're the only thing that makes sense to me right here. I mean, everything has its purpose. We'll re-listen to this and it'll make more sense in a couple weeks. But as of right now, I'm feeling weird about this Scorpio. Sun, moon, or rising, if you have any Scorpios in your life or Scorpio placements in your birth chart, this Pisces full moon is kind of canoodling with that. And it makes sense because Pisces and Scorpio have a harmonious trine. So anything in Scorpio is being harmoniously trined with this full moon. But I would say just intuitive death, soul transformation, dreams about death, endings, beginnings, especially over the next couple weeks. Something has to end so that you can go forward to a new path. But it's like you're coming from a crossroads, something ends and you're finally able to get to master that, and then you head right to another stalemate chapter of, so you may wait 2 weeks for someone or something and you finally end and you get free, and then it's 2 more weeks, or you go from decision to a decision. Because I see 2 different cards here that are, sometimes I group them together like, oh, a choice, but I'm really seeing that these 2 are very different energies, because it's comfort and growth and what's true and what's true. But I would definitely say, yeah, a decision that someone isn't making, or we definitely have to embrace endings to move up ahead outside of our comfort. So that's just a little bit behind the moon. All right, so we're going to start the individual cards for the different chakras, and we'll start with the crown, guys. I feel like we're jolted into that. All right, like, let's go. Crown chakra. Now, I just want to make a note of this, which some of us can see up here. A lot of these cards are not revealed. You might be able to get a little sneak. Jalen saw a little sneak. But to me as a reader, they have not revealed themselves. So we have 5. I thought they all were going to be that way. But the first 4 are just unknown. So, and we're going to start there. So for me, when a card falls face down like that and it's not revealed, whatever message is there, we need to chime that in a little bit, because it's a hidden omen. It's a dark omen, not like anything scary, but you could be hiding this. It could be hidden from us. It really depends. But crown chakra is our higher consciousness and our divine connection. Let's dive a little bit deeper into it. Oh yeah, I did get a glance. It's the 7 of Wands. So immediately I am seeing that we have a crown block chakra. Our crown chakras are kind of blocked. So there's headaches there that some of us, pressure in the head that we might be feeling because of that. Some of us feel blocked like from the higher consciousness, or we feel disconnected from the divine in some way. And then I will also say the 7 of Wands, because I know more about the tarot. This is haters, envy, people below you that don't want you to be that king or the queen of the hill. So in a higher, okay, we have enemies, or our battles right now, or what we're up against has a higher meaning to it. That's what I take from the crown chakra anyway, just because of the divine connection. So I know whenever I'm dealing with the crown chakra or the tarot card that comes out for it, that there's like divine stuff going on there. So anything you're up against, don't give up. You need to stand up for yourself. there's certain battles right now that we're given on behalf of the divine. So we might encounter weird characters because of that, like our purpose. But there is some sort of a need to like stand up and fight opposition, block. It's your territory. You could be fighting for someone else, or it's protection or challenge, endurance, like all those vibes. So that's weird. A little bit of spiritual warfare that I'm sensing there. And remember, hidden. So hidden enemies, you may not see this. Some of us are fighting the unknown, or, really blocked off and territorial because of the things are unknown right now. We may revisit that, but that seems pretty to the point there and cut and dry. That for one, there's absolutely some of us who are disconnected at a crown chakra level, disconnected from the higher consciousness, disconnected from divine. So that's interesting. It's causing battles, and there's something hidden going on there. Now we have another hidden chakra, which is the third eye. It's intuition, foresight, and open imagination. And this one's interesting. Pisces, if you look it up, it's associated with the sacral chakra as of Sagittarius because of Jupiter. It's the planets that the chakras are associated with. But Pisces is intuitive, imagination, some of those keywords. So I'm interested in how the full moon is affecting this third eye. But keep in mind, there is hidden. And I remember this coming out, forgot though. It's the Seven of Swords, it's the Emperor, and the Ace of Swords. So we got Aries energy showing up. We all have Aries somewhere, all right? Listen, the third eye, I'm not about to do this tonight. The third eye is intuition. Some of us know the truth intuitively, and we know someone's lying. Right away, there's a male that lies, a man that lies. I would say the Emperor is masculinity, our fathers. Let's talk about the bull first, though. We briefly did, but we intuitively know. Remember, this was hidden too, so we kind of got to trust our intuition about any sneaky, suspicious deception going on. Like, we can feel it intuitively that someone's stealing or lying or cheating or sneaking around an army base, if we want to get literal, and stealing stuff. Now, I will say, on a positive, more happy note, the Seven of Swords, it means strategy at the very best. So some of us have this strategy, and now this is a time period too, guys, because we have Aries here. There may be an Aries involved in this, but I have Aries full moon in my mind right now at the end of September. By the end of September, whatever was lies or deception, we know that Pisces energy brings that up. But I love that the Ace of Swords is here, because when I have Ace of Swords, Seven of Swords, the truth is right there with a lie, so it ain't gonna stay a lie. So there's a new beginning. There's clarity when there's deception. There's truth where there's lies. And then like this male father figure, authority, control thing going on in the middle. But where I was gonna go with that is it has to do with the empires we're running. We all have empires to run. And this could be a boss, a manager, someone with authority, okay? But there's something here definitely about masculine energy. Whether you are a masculine or you're dealing with, there's masculine energy here. A very deceitful man. He could be older. This could be a father figure for some of us, but we're going to need our intuition. Some of us saw this in foresight. I don't even really bother with the third eye chakra, because it's like we really already knew and felt that. So when we find out, and some of us, we don't want to exclude anyone. Some of us are the ones lying and the ones cheating or lying or sneaking or being suspicious. So other people may have already intuitively knew that about us, but there's some kind of new conversation that needs to happen here. We need to speak with authority about what we're intuitively feeling. Some of us have a real open imagination, enough to, take everything back that belongs to us. We definitely may have to do that. But I do see lies, deception, and cheat here. I wouldn't as much if I didn't see the Ace of Swords, but that just clarifies even more that there's some kind of truth that comes out. You need to have a conversation, speak with authority, and we're going to move on. Again, I think we're going to have to briefly revisit unless it comes full circle and we just trust it. But I mentioned speaking and things like that with the Ace of Swords, because this is kind of a story as well happening. And so we're going to move to the throat chakra, which is blue. Ability to speak, communicate clearly. Real interested in this one because Mercury is currently retrograde. So that's going to, affect our ability to communicate. It's going to affect communication and our ability to speak and all that. And we have a hidden message for the next couple bowls here. So these first four chakras here are dark and like there's unknown energy. So we have the Page of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Water sign energy here, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I feel more so led to talk about this Page of Swords with this, because this is our ability to speak. Some of us are holding back communication and more so spying. I do see someone, this is the second time I've seen this, But we'll say a water sign is getting spied on. I see that. Or a water sign is doing the spying. And that's just Pisces full moon vibes, regardless of who's doing it. But someone wants to inquire more. They need to know more about love and emotion before they open up. I'm not opening up to you right now. This Queen of Cups is the only cup that has a lid on her cup. So she's going to look before she feels. She's going to investigate, and use her mind as well. So I do see a woman here who's getting spied on, and this is for the throat chakra. Someone wants to say something to you, even if you're a man, we all have feminine. But I see a woman, and someone here is too shy or too young or too immature. We got an immature way of thinking here. So we need to open up to new abilities to speak, and that's there with the Ace of Swords too. So this truth comes out, and someone relays it to you, sees something. That's what this is all about here. They see something or hear something, and then they quickly, like telephone, reveal it to someone else. So I do want to say there's a caution here with the Page of Swords, or any page, honestly, that it's not in its high. We had that Page of Pentacles come up before. In the same way I said that that's not the Knight or the King or the Queen, this Page of Swords has just learned how to talk. You know what I'm saying? So would you take instructions from a baby kind of thing? Like, it's not going to be as detailed. Babies just say like little stuff like, I want blank. So when you get this communication, or if you're the person communicating, there's more to be revealed. And this is literally the communication bull. So let Mercury come out of retrograde, observe, gather information, gather up facts and receipts and details, because there's a lot of clouds right now. And that's why someone's holding back and not saying what they feel. Someone literally wants to say, I love you here, or, open up emotionally and express their feelings, but they're trying to detach. They're kind of scared. There's a woman and child here. Someone sees something though. All right. And just keep in mind, it may not be the full truth and all the truth and nothing but the truth or whatever. But I see new ways to speak, new communication, being able to communicate clearly after Mercury goes direct. And this is about our feelings. Some of us need to have these conversations and open up emotionally. But some of us are having really detached. Like, I see someone who's barely speaking, barely texting, barely calling, like this bare minimum communication, because of what's going on in the feelings and the love and the emotion because of this Pisces full moon. All right. There might be more there. We're going to let it be what it is, because that's the truth. There is truth coming in, you guys, because there's definitely some deception. But we'll move to the heart, which is green energy, and that's love, self-love, and relationships. It's hidden, so that lets me know off the gate that there could be hidden relationships, hidden heart desires. We could be in relationships with people who have hidden things. Who knows what way this is going to go. And it's the Wheel of Fortune. So it doesn't matter, because it's all going to change on September 22nd. Relationships are going to be very different. And I'm saying that, let's not get ahead of myself. This is the wheel of the year. So we talk about the equinoxes and the solstices. Whenever I get the Wheel of Fortune in a reading, I always think about the very next equinox or solstice we're going to experience, because it gives me a time period. Now, right now, that's extremely important because it's less than a month away. And what's more important about it is that the fall equinox in Libra season, that's saying the same thing. Fall doesn't begin until the sun is 0 degree Libra. Same with summer when it's 0 degree Cancer. So it's the same thing that happens. Libra season, the fall equinox. I think day and night are of equal length on that day, if I'm not mistaken. So Libra in astrology is relationships. This is the relationship chakra. So we've got Libra and relationships really coming in here for a time period. Now, we don't want to forget love and self-love too, but I really just want to say that we're going to be in a very different area of fate by that time. And I just did a personal reading earlier to kind of like confirm that this isn't just happening to just like one or two of us. Like, this is kind of a collective energy. I don't know what's going on with Jupiter or destiny or fate or karma, but these are entities and energies that are really at play here to kind of turn things in our favor. So if you're single by September 22nd, you may not be. If you're married by September 22nd, you may not be. So it really depends. I could say relationships are going to change for you, and I could say that to one person and it mean one thing, and I could say it to the next and it means something else. So just hear that with your own ear, that Libra season being the sign of partnership and relationship, and then the fall coming in. And then also what I'm being led to hear is that there are destined relationships. The Pisces thing talked about soulmates and stuff, and I didn't know that, but apparently there's like soulmates coming in. Okay, so yeah, okay. And also we could be connecting with someone who's far at a distance, because I'm getting all these different meanings with the Wheel of Fortune. That's travel. But what I really feel is the heart's destiny. These are people we could learn with, because we're getting into Jupiter. We could expand with these people, travel with these people, but love is at a distance. Will you go the distance for love? Some of us, this is self-love, okay? We don't want to exclude that, but destined relationships is what I feel as a reader. Everything else is like, yeah, all right, okay, it could mean that, but I really got to like work and put in some energy. But what I really feel in my heart is that there's destined relationships and things doing a 180. And then we also have Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius on this card. So those may be important signs or the fixed signs of destiny. But I would just say relationships are going to be different. We'll say October 22nd because the fall starts on September 22nd. We'll give Libra a month to do their thing. But by Halloween, you know, there's going to be a lot of faded connections and just destiny. And we all know what that means. That's when someone else is writing the story for you. It's like kind of not free will, not to like make it toxic in any way, but it's just things that are going to happen whether you wear blue or red today. It doesn't matter what you eat for breakfast or if you take a left or right, you're going to encounter this person. It's already happened before, therefore it's going to happen again. As above, so below, as within, so without. Like it's written, okay? So that's weird. That's blessed relationships, and you're going to learn a lot from these connections. Something's going on there, but we'll let the fall equinox kind of bring that in. And then we're going to move to the solar plexus, which is yellow energy. And this is our self-esteem, our pleasure, our willpower, and responsibility. This is the first card that is revealed. So that in itself is an omen as well. It's the Ten of Cups. You guys couldn't see it, but it came out right up. So here's that emotional fulfillment and that Pisces energy that I would be looking for tonight. So yeah, we need to find out more about this. There's a lot of, and it's the only card besides the root chakra that showed itself too. So there's something that we know about our home and family. There's something that we know about what would emotionally fulfill us, self-pleasure, or actually self-esteem, and then pleasure, willpower, responsibility. Some of us may have responsibilities in the home. And then I also want to say, I've never heard anyone else, but for me, religiously, so the 10 of Cups is as big as it gets. Like, we don't have an 11 of Cups. It's just like cards in a regular card deck. We go from, 1 to 10, and there's no 11. So for me, this card comes out for people who really are wanting to start something new. Like, I kind of like emotionally have outgrown this. I've lived here for so long. I've been with you. Like, I want to feel something that obviously I'm not going to be able to feel here or with you. So we might want new homes or new love, or this is the type of time in the universe where when this card comes up, we definitely might be getting really close to some kind of new love, new family, new emotional fulfillment, new start in some way. So our self-esteem, if we're emotionally fulfilled or lack thereof, basically our happy ever after, what we envision for ourselves, that pleasure, there's willpower there, but there's also, that little hint of responsibility with this chakra, and then Saturn being a part of this moon too. So that one's interesting. That's very home and family, and it's yellow energy. Our self-esteem it depends on who you are, but it's like if you live somewhere you don't like, then your self-esteem might be low. But if you are happy with your family and you're feeling like really emotionally abundant, or if this moon brings that in, then maybe you're on the more pleasure side of things and your self-esteem is up. But just know our home and family relationships, emotional fulfillment or lack thereof is playing a role in how confident our self-esteem is. And then we definitely have responsibilities there. It's our responsibility to reach emotional fulfillment. Your happy ever after is your responsibility, not Walt Disney's, not anyone else that's writing the story or in the story with you. Like, only you have that vision. So, and I'm talking to myself here too, like, we can't like get upset, if we're not experiencing that, if we're just waiting around for someone else to, we have destiny here, which is someone else is kind of writing it. But I feel as far as our emotional fulfillment, that's our responsibility. Only we know what that looks like, So I will say that. And then we'll move to the sacral, which is hidden again. And we have one more after that is revealed. So this is just creative and sexual energy. And there's something hidden. Keep in mind with all the hidden ones, this could be hidden from you. This could be something you're hiding. And we have the 7 of Pentacles, which is weird. I didn't expect that, but this is about the fall, our harvest, $700. We have no money except for this. So $700, $70, but this is all about taking a step back. Keep in mind, sexual and creative. Some of us are taking a step back from sex. Some of us have taken a step back from some kind of creative project to see if it's going to grow. But this is the reap what you sow card. Whatever you put in is exactly what's going to come out. So when this card comes out, you're at a time in your life where you can see everything as a metaphorical bush. Is it fruitful or is it bare? right? You don't want to water a dead bush or something that's wasting your time. Just like a farmer, I always use that metaphor. If a farmer spent this much time and energy and money on crop, and then by the time it's time to harvest, he gets none of that back, I'm sure he's going to do things differently a little bit next time. So keep that in mind when you're taking a step back and you can clearly see what you've put in, your money, your energy, your time, your effort, your love, your emotion, and then like, what are you getting in return? Because if it's not equal, or especially after Libra, when they care about fairness and stuff, if it's not, at least that much or rewarding enough, if it's a waste of time, because that's what it is it a waste of time or time well paid off? Are you in debt metaphorically or literally, or are you profit metaphorically or literally? So that's why I hate this card, but I like this card because it does herald that, like, you're not going to be waiting for much longer. This could be 7 months. This could be 7 years ago for some of us, but really patient energy with something creative to grow. But I see this more so as some of us are going to be like, all right, I'll put more work in with this because it's rewarded me. I feel real good. My hard work is paid off. Okay. And then on the other end, that other people are going to be feeling is like, wait up. No, I need to go back to the drawing board and go back to equality because this isn't working. You're not giving me as much time and energy. I don't want to keep waiting on this. And it's coming out for the sexual. It's coming out for the creative. So this is the second full moon that's something weird. We had the Knight of Pentacles there last time. Same vibe. Like that Virgo pullback energy of wait, be patient, that consistency. So some of us are not even focused on sex or romance or creativity. We're focused on that coin in our hard work, our goals, where we're going to be in 7 months, 7 years. July was important with that. So that's stumping me and making me feel a little weird. I usually embrace those feelings because maybe it's meant to be. But there is a need to slow down sexually, pull back. Don't just be having sex with people willy-nilly, especially this King of Wands, this right here. Like, it's an energy transfer. And right now, there's something that you can invest. Sexual investment, creative investments, because the Seven of Pentacles is an investment. But some of us would rather invest in something else rather than to let that grow. Or so just keep that in mind, that there is a message here to kind of pull back. And then I think this went quick, but we're at the root. This is our safety. It's also shown to me, I think we've had this card here before. It's security, stability, foundation, red energy, and it's the Six of Swords. This is the only other card so there's something about our roots, and there's something about our solar plexus, I would say, this one and this one, that is revealed clear. Everything else is subject to darkness right now, hidden energy. But at the root of things, we need to get ourselves to safety immediately. I don't really know what that means, but with the chakra and this card coming out, there's some kind of security. Now we're going to have to leave behind something really sad, cry for a little second about it. But if you focus on where you're going, there's a lot less chaos up ahead. I think that's where stability and safety and security are at. Up ahead, a different foundation. So there's these people in this boat. It's air energy, so it's really like, are you thinking about leaving? Are you feel like you should leave? Are you physically leaving? So there's all these different ways to kind of transition. But at the root of things, there very much is a person, place, or thing moving and transitioning from one. And we had that death card, so... But I really do think, like, we're really going to, like, leave certain areas because it's over. Like, it's weird for this to be the root of things, but we need to get to a calmer place of safety. And I think this transition is going to kind of help us get there in a certain way. Again, very sad to leave what's behind. I see man, woman, and child here. Someone could be helping us. We could be the person helping other people get to safety. But we literally have to root ourselves somewhere else. We need to go root ourselves so this could be home. Moving homes, someone's leaving because they don't feel safe. It's no longer secure. It's not stable here. That's up ahead, you guys. But it's going to cost, we're going to have to uproot, you know what I'm saying? And then briefly, the King of Wands, confidence, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, at a job or something. There's $300 or $400 here. Fire sign energy. Some of us are really burdened with like money and tangible stuff, but there's something new coming in to help us get rid of that job or that money or that physical resource. And then I don't know who this is. It's a coworker of yours that's very attractive. Who cares? But yeah, in general, I would say all of these things that we've talked about tonight need action. They need confidence. There's a Leo here, Aries, Sagittarius man, an outside lustful succubus that wants to come in and mix things up. But action orientation, natural born leader, confidence, creativity, things being expressed. But I think this is someone outside of all this going on, whatever that might mean. There's like this exterior fire sign, hyper, very stamina individual, loud, egoic, and these may be traits we need, but it's weird. I don't know what he's doing here. It's some weird miscellaneous character, probably like an NPC or an alien or something that's really not meant to be involved in much of this, but is very much so like a puppet master. I don't like him. We're gonna have to look into him a little bit more on the Aries full moon. That's just what I'm getting briefly. I wasn't even gonna discuss him, but yeah, we have these King of Wands individuals popping up. Maybe it's this Aries, or we got Sagittarius a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we just all need to take action and be confident. Let's just go with that.